Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Elementary 3, Lesson 2. I hope everyone is very well today. Please open your workbook on page 35. Now I want you to check your answers with me. In 1965, the brothers started singing together. Number 3. The father Joe worked in a steel mill. Number 4. In 1968, the Jacksons recorded their first single. They played R&B, soul and dance music. They traveled everywhere in the US. The brothers moved to California in 1968. The brothers enjoyed worldwide success. In 1989, the band stopped recording together. The youngest brother, Michael, loved dancing. In 1982, Michael recorded Thriller. He died in 2009. Now I want you to have a look at exercise 2 and compare your answers with a partner before we check it together. Off you go. Okay, and now please check the screen for the final answer. Please check if your spelling is correct. And if your helping word is in the past, you always need did, and the main verbs are infinitive. Okay, and now let's check exercise 3, the negatives. Please compare your answers with the partners first. Okay, now look up at the whiteboard please and check your answers. Number 2 didn't work. Number 3 didn't play. Number 4 didn't move. Number 5 didn't record. And number 6 didn't record again. Well done everybody. I hope you had fun during that exercise, and I also hope that you remember those verbs, because now we are going to have a verb test. The same test that you did in Elementary 1 and Elementary 2. So please close your workbook and your notebook and your student's book as well, and only open your notebook. I'm going to dictate some verbs, and please write down the verb and then the past tense of the verb. For example, live, lived. So please listen to the verbs and write down the verb in the present and then in the past as well. Earn, earn. Number 2, interview, interview. Number 3, move, move. Number 4, start, start. Number 5, work, work. Number 6, study, study. Number 7, watch, watch. Number 8, talk, talk. Number 9, open, open. Now please write down the past forms of the verbs as well. Okay, I hope you finished. So the answers are the following. Earn, earned. Number 2, interview, interviewed. Number 3, move, moved. Number 4, start, started. Number 5, work, worked. Number 6, study, studied. Number 7, watch, watched. Number 8, talk, talked. Number 9, open, opened. Well done everybody. I want you to open up your workbook again please on page 36 and look at exercise 2. Remember, we can pronounce the ed at the end of the verbs in 3 different ways. I want you to take a look at the box here and read the following verbs before we listen. Okay, if you've read them, look at this table here, please. I'm going to play the recording. You will hear these verbs. Please put them in the correct category. If you hear T, D, or ED, listen very carefully.
Unit 6, Exercise 2, Part 1.
Worked. Cleaned. Decided. Received. Lived. Watched. Talked. Moved. Wanted. Earned. Opened. Stayed. Stopped. Finished. Walked. Liked. Enjoyed. Travelled. Died. Started.
You can check your answers on the whiteboard now. In the next exercise, we are going to practice pronouncing these three ways. So please repeat the first sentence after me. He worked in an office. Okay, that was very good. And now the rest of the sentences are going to be on the CD. So please repeat these sentences after the person who's talking. Please make sure that you pronounce them the same way, with T, D, or ED.
Unit 6, Exercise 2, Part 3.
1.
We lived in a small house.
2.
I watched a good program on TV.
3.
She talked about her childhood.
4.
We moved out of London.
5.
She started a new job.
6.
I earned a lot of money.
7.
We stopped at a hotel.
8.
We wanted a pizza.
9.
He died in 1988.
Very good. All the verbs we've been talking about so far are called regular verbs. They are called regular because in the past tense they all have ed at the end of the verb. So in the past they are lived, moved, earned, and so on. Now in English there are lots of verbs which are not regular. They are called irregular verbs. Those verbs have different forms in the past. For example, the verb make. I made a sandwich yesterday. We don't use make plus D. The past tense of make is made. Or another example, have. I had a coffee this morning. We have a lot more of those. Could you please open your student's book on page 48? And at the top of the page, you can see irregular verbs. There's a list of them. They are in the present. Let's read the verbs in the present first. Begin, can, catch, come, get, give, go, have, leave, lose, make, meet, send, take, win, and write. I'm going to show you a list of their past tenses. I want you to try and match them with their present form. Work together with a partner, please. So here you go. You can see the verbs on the screen now. Please try and match the past forms with the present. Off you go. Good luck. Okay, so the correct pairs are up on the screen now. Please check if you manage to pair them up correctly. And now please repeat the verbs after me. Begin, began. Can, could. Catch, caught. Come, came. Get, got. Give, gave. Go, went. Have, had. Leave, left. Lose, lost. Make, made. Meet, met. Send, sent. Take, took. Win, won. Write, wrote. Thank you, that was really good. Don't worry, you don't have to remember all of them today. Every lesson we are going to learn some of them. I would like to show you where you can find all of them because there are a lot more. Please go to page 158 in your book. Now, every now and then, when you're not sure about an irregular verb and the past tense, you can turn the pages of your book to here. And then here you can find the correct form. There you go. So please use this page regularly. Please go back to page 48 in your student's book now. On page 48, you can see a young man. His name is Ben Way. He's a very successful person, just like Oprah Winfrey. But he also has some ups and downs in his life. Now, ups in your life means the good periods. Remember, Oprah Winfrey had good periods when she was a grown-up. She became a millionaire. She became really successful. Now, downs means the bad periods of life. Oprah had downs when she was a child. Remember, they were very poor and her parents couldn't look after her. Now, I would like you to think about your own life. Think about some ups and downs in your life and tell your partner about them. Off you go. And now let's have a look at the ups and downs of Ben Way's life. I would like you to read the profile of his life, this short story just here in exercise 2. And please answer the question, what were his ups and downs? So let's see. He had some good periods when he made his first million at the age of 17. He became one of the first dot-com millionaires. What does it mean, dot-com millionaire? A dot-com millionaire is somebody who made a lot of money selling or buying products online through the internet. So making money through an internet-based business. So some of his downs, bad periods, when he lost all his money. He lost all his money, that means he didn't have the money anymore. He became poor again. And then some more good periods came up, and he's now a millionaire again. So he had different ups and downs. Now I want you to have a look at page 49, please. On this page, we are going to find out a bit more about Ben Way's life. We are going to complete his life story with the verbs that are given in each sentence. You are going to have to put them in the past tense. But before we start reading, let me teach you 3 new expressions. They might be new. The first one is dyslexic. Dyslexic means a person who mixes up the letters. They find it very, very hard to read and write. They find spelling very hard. So for example, a simple word like farm, they couldn't read it. They would read something like fram or famr. It's that kind of a disease. And then the other one is software program. You might know this one. For example, Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office is a software program. And the third one is entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person who starts a business alone. So now I want you to please have a look at the text and try and find the past forms of the verbs in parentheses. Remember, you can always check them on the previous page, on page 48. If they are not there, you can always look them up at the back of your book. So good luck. You can work with your partner if you find it difficult. Off you go. Okay, please have a look at the whiteboard now and check your answers. I hope you could find the correct answers. In the next exercise, we are going to listen to an interview with Ben. In the interview, please try and find the extra information, things that you didn't know before about Ben's life.
Tape script 6.8. Interview with Ben Way.
Hi, Ben. Nice to meet you. Can you tell us a bit about your life?
Well, I was born on September the 28th, 1980, in Devon, in the southwest of England.
And what did your parents do?
My dad was an accountant, and my mum was an artist.
Did you go to school in Devon?
Yes, I did. I went to a small village school.
Did you enjoy school?
No, I didn't enjoy it at all. I had problems because I was dyslexic and couldn't read and write.
That's difficult.
Yes, but when I was 9, my dad gave me a computer, and it changed my life. I loved it. I took it everywhere with me. I helped my friends and my parents' friends with their computers.
Very good. And then?
Then I wrote my first software program when I was just 11. And when I was 15, I began my own computer company.
Oh, that's fantastic. Was it successful?
Yes, very successful. So successful that I left school at 16 and...
Yes, I know. You were a millionaire at 17.
Yes, I made my first million at 17. And at 19, I had 18.5 million.
And at 20, you won Young Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yes, I did. I often went on TV and radio and talked about it. It was amazing.
And then 1 year later...
Yes, and then just a year later, when I was 21, I lost everything. Disaster. .com businesses everywhere went down.
Yeah, but now you're up again. Another company, another million.
I know. I work hard, but I'm also very lucky.
Okay, If you want to hear that again, you can ask your teacher to play it one more time. And after that, can you please discuss the answers with your partner? So what else did you find out about Ben Way? Let's see some of the possible answers. For example, the new information was that his father was an accountant and his mother was an artist. Or that he didn't enjoy school. And he often talked on TV and radio. Also, in 2001, the dot-com business went down everywhere. That means all other businesses were not going well. Not only his business wasn't successful. Okay. Now I want you to go back to page 48, please. And in exercise 5, we are going to make questions about Ben Way's life. Remember, when we make questions in the past tense, what do we need? We need a helping word, which is did in the past tense. Then comes the subject, and then the verb infinitive. So the first question is going to be, for example, what did Ben's parents do? So please write down the questions now. Let's check the questions now. Number 2, where did he go to school? Number 3, why did he have problems at school? Number 4, what did his dad give him in 1989? Number 5, who did he help with their computers? Number 6, why did he leave school at 16? Number 7, when did he win Young Entrepreneur of the Year? And number 8, why did he lose his money? Okay, I hope your questions were okay. Now I'd like you to find a partner and please ask and find the answers as well to these questions. Please remember when you say the dates that up to the year 2000, for example in 1995, you say 19 and 95. 1995. And from the year 2000, you say 2000, 2001, 2002, and so on. So off you go, please. Ask and answer the questions. Let's see if you answered with the same questions now. What did his parents do? His father was an accountant and his mother was an artist. Where did he go to school? He went to a small village school in Devon. That's in England. Why did he have problems at school? Because he was dyslexic. What did his dad give him in 1989? He gave him a computer. Who did he help with their computers? He helped his friends and his parents' friends. Why did he leave school at 16? Because his first computer company was very successful. When did he win Young Entrepreneur of the Year? He won Young Entrepreneur of the Year in 2000. Why did he lose his money? Because dot-com businesses went down everywhere. Now we know a lot about Ben Way. It's time to do some grammar practice. Please open your verb books on page 36. On page 36 you can see a crossword. Across and down you have to write the past simple forms of these irregular verbs. Irregular means, remember, that they don't take ed for the past, but they have different forms. So please, if you don't remember what the forms are, please check them in your student's book, okay? There you go. Now please compare your crossword with a partner and then look up the whiteboard and then check it from here as well. So across, number 2, saw. Number 8, gave. Number 12, left. Number 5, had. 11, took. 13, came. 6, went. And down. Number 1, made. Number 4, caught. Number 9, lost. Number 2, sent. Number 6, wrote. Number 10, met. Number 2, won. And finally number 7, began. In exercise 2, you have to choose one of these past tenses of the verbs to complete the sentences. For example, the first one, I didn't go to New York, I went to Chicago. So please choose one of the verbs from the previous exercise and complete these sentences. Right, now please tell your answers to your partner and also check the correct spelling on the board. You probably noticed there was an odd one out verb which wasn't up here, and that's buy, bought. When you finish checking your answers, then please close your workbook and open your student's book on page 49. In the middle of the page, there's a section that says talking about you. I want you to think about your day yesterday and about your past, what kind of things you did, and I want you to make these sentences to be true. So either you say, I watched TV yesterday, or if you didn't, then you say, I didn't watch TV yesterday. So for example, I would say, I got up very early this morning. I had coffee and I didn't have toast for breakfast. I didn't come to school by car yesterday. I walked to school. And I didn't play computer games on Friday evening. And so on. Please don't forget that in the past tense you use didn't plus the verb infinitive for negatives. Off you go. Write your sentences first. Just a little help while you're writing. So if you finished writing your sentences, please share them with your partner. That was a good warming up for the next thing we're doing, because now I want you to ask questions from each other about what everybody did last time. So the question is going to be, when did you last? When did you last have a holiday? When did you last watch a DVD? When did you last talk on your mobile? When did you last send an email? When did you last catch a bus? When did you last give a present? And when did you last have dinner in a restaurant? And then your partner is going to answer your questions. For example, I had a holiday 2 years ago last time. I watched a DVD last weekend with my friend. I went to the cinema in July. I talked on my mobile an hour ago. I sent an email this morning. I caught a bus 2 weeks ago. I gave a present to my best friend for her birthday in August. And I had dinner in a restaurant with another friend 2 weeks ago. So please ask and answer these questions with a partner. When you're finished, then change your partner and ask the same questions from somebody else until your teacher tells you to stop. Please remember, with yesterday, you can say yesterday morning, you can say yesterday afternoon, or yesterday evening. We don't say last afternoon or last evening. We say last night or last week or last weekend. or last Monday, last month, or even last year. So off you go. Talk to as many people in the class as you can. That went very well. Now please tell your teacher some things that you remember about your friends. It's always very good to find out a bit more about each other, isn't it? Our lesson is coming to an end soon. I would like to give you some homework to work on, okay? First of all, if you could please study all the verbs that we went through today. So there are 12 verbs that I would like you to study for our next lesson. Can you please make a note of them to make sure that you study them? Go, went, give, gave, write, wrote, begin, began, leave, left, make, made, have, had, win, won, lose, lost, meet, met, send, sent. Okay? So homework number 1 is study the verbs. Homework number 2 is in your workbook. So please open your workbook on page 37. On page 37, you can see a text. The title is Chinese Girl Makes Pop Song on Her Mobile Phone. I want you to read the text at home and fill in the gaps with the appropriate form of these verbs. You have to put the verbs in the past simple form. So good luck with that, and good luck with memorizing all your verbs. And thank you very much for your hard work today. This is the end of Lesson 2, Elementary 3. I'll see you next time.